Hey, what's up? This is Daniel Kaiser for GTTV here on day 2 of E3 2006, and we have quite a panel of established journalists to talk about day 2 here of E3. Starting our panel is Jeff Keighley, who is the host of Gamehead on Spike TV. Welcome, Jeff. We also have Kat Hunter, who is our GTTV host here at E3 2006. Blair Herter, who is from MTV Overdrive's G-Hole. Amanda McKay, of course, from GTTV, and Justin Leeper from GTTV as well. So respect, that's right. And E3 is all about respect, of course, and if you're in the software business, you have to get your respect here at E3. So, Jeff, why don't you start off by telling us what the most impressive game of the show so far to you was?
You know, it's a little early for me to pick like the one game of the show, so I'll probably break it down by platform. I think on the Wii, the title that probably impressed me the most is actually Super Mario Galaxy. I wouldn't have expected it was going to be a Super Mario game, but I was kind of disappointed actually in Red Steel, which there's a lot of hype about. It felt to me like the environments looked cool, but the gameplay was just really basic. PC Crisis from EA is really good. Probably my favorite PC game of the show. And then for 360, there's a lot of good 360 stuff. I like Gears of War a lot. I don't know if it's my game of show yet, but that's probably the best 360 game I've seen.
Definitely, definitely. Those are all really solid titles. And I know, Kat, you were talking about some surprise titles too. What stood out to you the most on the showroom floor?
Breakout titles for me this year were definitely the action RTS game Desperate Housewives.
Yes, that is an amazing game.
I was surprised.
It's not a first-person shooter, though?
Well, it's first-person shooter during the last half of the game.
I see.
But it's much more about strategy at the beginning of the game. And I really was holding on, and that was going to be my game of the show until today. I played Jaws.
No, come on, seriously.
Are
you serious? Really?
Jaws definitely beat Desperate Housewives as my
Jaws
game of the
Unleashed.
show.
Really?
There is nothing to this game except for
It smells like somebody's lying. Does that smell
No. Actually,
false?
What I think was the most impressive game of the show that I saw today is the tech demo, actually, that in LucasArts booth for Raiders of the Lost Ark. They have this central nervous system built into the characters. And the game is still 14 months off, but I really think that it speaks volumes to what we're going to see next year. I was impressed.
Yeah, there's been a lot of hype of that. Everybody talking about the word next gen. That's one of the games implementing that new physics that it's going to really maybe bring forth a whole new generation in gaming.
Absolutely.
Blair, and yourself?
Well, after Jeff's long answer, I'm going to seem so unoriginal, but the Gears of War thing, I mean, I saw it yesterday, but still nothing really today that was super impressive compared to that for me anyway. But Crisis as well just made my eyes bleed. I mean, it's just beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful game. So I probably I'm kind of torn between the two of those.
Gears of War and Crisis?
Yeah.
Those two games to be torn between, man. They're awesome.
What games are left for you?
Yeah, really. I'll go around this way first and then come back. Amanda, I know you're excited about a title yesterday. Why don't you tell us about that or something else if you have
Yes,
it?
it was. Well, I'm going to have to agree with Jeff that it's a little bit too early for me to pick my favorite because unfortunately I've just been going from booth to booth to booth and I haven't got to play very many games yet. But yes, yesterday I got a chance to play quite a bit of the Nintendo Wii. I got to play Mario as well as tennis, and I got to say tennis was so fun. I picked it right up. I know it's basic, it's easy. It comes in a 3-pack with hockey and golf, or baseball and golf. You basically can't go wrong. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I thought you did a real good job in making that clear when you ran into the stage and said, "I just played tennis on the Wii."
I'm like, I had the Wii.
Really excited.
Yeah,
I thought that was
fun.
cool.
I thought it was good. I mean, their whole theory about making games fun again, mission accomplished. I liked it. It was awesome.
Excellent. Justin, how about you?
So you guys are all talking about great graphical games, but for me, top priority, games I can play on the toilet. So I'm all about PSP so far this year. Loco Roco looks great by Sony. Simple game, kind of Katamari-esque. Hot Pixel, which is like a WarioWare for PSP with a crazy French dude with all his street cred developing. And then Guitar Man Lives, which one of my favorite, really rare games for PS2 now coming back on PSP.
Remind me never to borrow your PSP.
Right?
Or go to your house because we know where you spend most of your time.
Or where it's been.
Well, for me, I think it was all about the Ubisoft booth. At least so far, I've just been totally impressed by not just the atmosphere, which was awesome, but the games coming out of there are just really, really impressive. Kicking off Assassin's Creed just really seems to it's a brand new franchise that I think is just really, really super exciting that they're going to cultivate in the same way they have like Prince of Persia and Splinter Cell. So there's a whole bunch of exciting things coming out of that. But Rainbow Six Vegas,
Looks awesome.
So
did you
good.
guys see that?
It looks so good. I totally
Chopper when you're
agree.
flying by and you see, yeah.
It's
I thought
so
it was a
emotional.
movie. It was emotional. It was awesome, and I've played that series from the beginning. I'm sure a lot of you have. But the coolest thing about it is the vision behind it and seeing that actually come to realization right there. The guy's like actually doing all this stuff that you would see normally in a trailer, and the lighting and all the awesome stuff. I mean, it just blew me away. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
So, were there any standout titles from a surprise? Were you surprised by anything, Jeff?
Wasn't surprised by anything. I'm trying to think. I mean, I was hoping the PS3 would probably have a stronger lineup. I don't know if there has been like that one surprise title this year. I mean, we see a lot of stuff on like pre-E3 tours, so we knew like something like Crysis was a surprise to me when I saw it a couple of weeks ago. So that was sort of a standout title. Yeah, I don't know if there is that one title yet that really sort of I saw and I was like, wow, that's really impressive. I haven't seen it yet. BioShock, a lot of people are talking about the 2K Games booth. I'm gonna go see it tomorrow, but I've heard a lot of good buzz on that title. But otherwise, yeah, there's not that one title that's like the buzz of the show where people are coming up and grabbing me and saying like, you know, you gotta go see this. This is awesome.
Like God of War was that surprise title. When, you know, everybody just kept buzzing about it. But yeah, I think you're right. What about you though, Kat?
I think my surprise is actually Rainbow, because I don't know if everyone played Lockdown, but for Rainbow fans everywhere, it was like so hard to still be a lover, and then to have them come back this year with Vegas just redeemed you. It won me back. I was like, thank you so much.
It's
So,
awesome. Blair, what about you?
I think my surprise was like my lack of surprise. I think we've all heard how great all the next-gen stuff's going to be. So if we see something cool, of course we're going to see something cool because it's all you've been talking about for so long. But I think, like we kind of talked about earlier, I think the big surprise for me this year was seeing somebody wait in line for like an hour, 2 hours for a Nintendo demo, and
it was
being
like 3.5
yeah,
hours.
like a long time, right? Spending a lot of time there, and being pissed about it and grumbling. These hardcore gamer fans that'll do that, and then seeing the same guy wait in line for 3 hours to get an autograph from Paris Hilton. And like that kind of speaks volumes to me about like where I think what's important now, you know, to a lot of gamers. And so I think my big surprise this year was seeing it move away from the games and more towards like the whole grandeur of the situation. So.
Yeah. E3's known for that, man. What do you think?
Well, I think I'm going to have to steal Jeff's answer. I wasn't overly surprised by anything except for I was expecting to see a little bit more from the PS3. I thought there was going to be all over the place. And for me, Nintendo kind of stole the show from them. So, who knows?
Got to stay positive, though. I mean, I'm a wrestling guy. I'm a wrestling guy by trade, and you know, those games have gotten a bad rap, but they've been continually ramping up their quality. And I think SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 on Xbox 360 just really taking that series to a whole new level as far as gameplay, as far as graphics, as far as storyline. That's my bag, and that's something I'm really looking forward to.
A small surprise, wasn't huge for me. The Wii I think is really cool, and a lot of people. I was surprised at the mix of reaction from the Wii. It was just like people. One person would be like, you know, I totally don't dig it, and like 2 minutes later, someone would come up and be like, it's the best thing in the world, you know. So I was surprised by that. But from a software standpoint, for me, I did not expect NCAA 07 to have as much polish at this point. I mean, it's shipping in a few months, but it just looks totally different than I expected, and it looks really, really good and plays really, really well. So as a sports fan, and them having exclusivity with NFL and, you know, a lot of just other football games, you know, aren't coming out. So it's just, you have to take what you can get, and I'm happy about NCAA. So
I talked to the guy at EA, one of the producers over there, and he was just in love with that series. I mean, that kind of passion for the game really translates into a final product. It's something you can be proud of.
It really does. Well, that does it from E3 2006 on day 2. I'm Daniel Kaiser for GTTV. Thanks to everybody for joining our panel. We appreciate it very much. Hope you enjoyed coverage of E3 2006 on Gametrailers.com. See you soon.